सब्सक्राइब कीजिए विजय कुमार माई न्यू क्लासरूम, प्रेस बेल बटन to enjoy videos on English lessons and grammar topics. Hello children, are you enjoying this summer season? It's very hot in this Indian part. What we are going to do today is we are going to have a plunge deep into water. But first you have to be without fear of water. Do you know swimming? So that we can get deep into water. Do you know swimming? I am asking this because the lesson we are going to study today is Deep Water by William Douglas, 12th class, for you, your Flamingo chapter 3. One is done, second is done, and today we are doing third. Lesson 3, Deep Water by William Douglas. And believe me, if you have fear of deep water, I am talking about real water in a pool, not this lesson deep water. Because after studying this lesson, I am sure definitely that after studying this lesson, neither you will be having the fear of deep water in the pool, nor you will be having fear of this lesson deep water. Third in a row we are doing. And if we continue on talking on fear, everyone has a fear of one sort or other. It can be like you students, mathematics, डर लगता है height से. If I take you to 10-story building and ask you to look down, it will be fearful experience for you. Or some might be having fear of darkness. Or when teacher calls you to come on the stage and speak on a specific given topic, can you do it? Or your legs tremble while on the stage, you cannot speak. This is stage fear. So all these fears, you have to conquer these fears, children. And so, no lesson can be of great importance than this lesson, Deep Water. Because it is said in ad also, you see, डर के आगे जीत है. ये सुना है आपने? गला सबका सूखता है, डर के आगे जीत है. तो वाकई में ही डर को हमने जीतना है, वरना डर हमें हरा देगा. We have to overcome this fear of any kind. And fear, the writer, very renowned, who worked as advisor to American President Roosevelt and also served 40 years in American Supreme Court. Would you believe this William Douglas in his childhood had a fear and fear of water? और रूजवेल्ट क्या कहते थे? ऑल वी हैव टू फियर इज़ फियर इटसेल्फ. और किसी से नहीं डरना, सिर्फ फियर से ही डरना है, फियर से परे रहना है. ऑल वी हैव टू फियर इज़ फियर इटसेल्फ, ये रूजवेल्ट का कहना था. तो कितना ग्रेट लेसन, ग्रेट टीचिंग्स इन दिस लेसन. प्लस 2 के सभी ही लेसनों में जो है अच्छी जो हैं शिक्षाएं छुपी हुई हैं. और इसका जो मैसेज है, थीम है, ओवरकम योर फियर. Be it fear of any kind, mathematics, your stage fear, dark, height, or fear of water, so that we can have a plunge into joys of our life. So children, get into my new classroom and we are going to have a plunge in this deep water, lesson 3 by William Douglas. William Douglas here is giving real life personal account of experiencing fear and steps taken to overcome, कि कैसे उसको डर लगा. 2 misadventures he went through in his life at the age of 3 and 11 is very beautifully discussed in the lesson. And due to this fear, how he could not enjoy the life's adventures, boating, canoeing, swimming, fishing. This all is discussed. And finally, he decides to hire an instructor to learn swimming, and thus he overcame his fear of water. Very beautiful psychological analysis of fear, its reasons and effects on our life, and finally how to overcome any type of fear. Beautiful lesson. And if we go more deep in discussing this subject, fear, it remained always a first choice of writers. So many writings are there, and this piece, as you have discussed in your 10th class also, you remember his first flight, your lesson, in which young seagull was afraid of flying and his parents were able to motivate him, and finally he flies. In the same way, you saw Nelson Mandela's autobiography Long Walk to Freedom, in which जो फियर पर हमने विजय पानी है उसके लिए करेज चाहिए. करेज, व्हाट इज करेज? इज ट्रम्प ओवर फियर. ब्रेव्स आर दोज हु कंक्वेयर फियर. And similarly in +1 also, you have enjoyed a lesson on fear. We are not afraid to die if we all be together. You remember when John said, है ना, that we are not afraid to die if we all be together. So John, a 5-6 year boy, conquered the fear of death and showed account of courage. So here in +2, in 12th also, one more chapter on this fear, and to overcome this, an act of courage is given, and it is very much an autobiographical note in which narrator is himself, William Douglas. He is elaborating his own experience. His first person narrative it is, and you will see in this lesson lots of water sports vocabulary. वाटर स्पोर्ट्स कौन कौन से होते हैं और वोकेबलरी से भरपूर है ये. वाटर की वोकेबलरी आपने देखनी है तो these many words you will see. You read these words. These all are related to water or water sports vocabulary. Great lesson. So many learning outcomes you will be having, and कोई डर नहीं होगा आपको, ना डीप वाटर का और ना ही इस लेसन डीप वाटर का. सारे डाउट्स आपके क्लियर होने वाले हैं. On this lesson, I have already given you video number 199, that is on its introduction, title, writer and theme, and you can go for this video. Also, we have discussed summary in Hindi, and in this video, I am once again here with the summary of this lesson in English. So we can start. What is happening? At the age of 10 or 11, William Douglas in his childhood decides to learn to swim. Up to 11, he does not know how to swim. At the age of 11, he decides to learn to swim. There is a reason. Because at the age of 3 or 4, when he was, once he went to California beach with his father. They were surfing on the beach. Suddenly, a great wave knocks him down and sweeps him away. He is buried in water. And this misadventure at the age of 3, he was frightened. उसके दिल में घर कर गया वो डर कि वो पानी से भी डरने लगा. His breath starting going. उसकी सांस जाने वाली थी. He had, due to this, he had stark terror of water in his mind now. He decided not to go near water anymore. But at the age of 11, here, he decides to learn to swim in spite of that misadventure that happened at the age of 3 or 4 years. And also one more reason that he was frightened of water, he had a fear of water, was because of his mother also. His mother warned him not to go towards Yakima River. Yakima, that flows through America. You can see here, because that is treacherous, unpredictable. उसका बिल्कुल पता नहीं है अब पानी है, अब पानी नहीं है, अब नहीं है, अब पानी आ गया एकदम से. तो वो treacherous river है. Mother warned him again and again not to go there. He also warned him about so many drownings already happened in that river. So he decided not to go to Yakima, but he decided to go to YMCA pool, which is safer according to the writer. Why safer? Because it is just 2 or 3 feet deep at shallow end and 9 feet deep at other end, deeper end. And one thing why he said that YMCA pool is safe is that drop was gradual from 2 feet to 9 feet. That drop was gradual. तो ये अच्छे पॉइंट थे. दैट्स वाई ही डिसाइडेड टू गो फॉर लर्निंग स्विमिंग. ही गोज टू YMCA pool and as he was feared of it, he gets a pair of water wings. You know water wings? He does not have courage to get into water as he was fear of water in his mind, in his heart. So he decides to sit at the edge of that YMCA pool. And sitting there, he remembers those unpleasant memories when he was 3 years old. Suddenly what happens? He sees other boys there trying to get into the water. They were learning how to swim. He also starts aping them. And he also starts to feel at ease in the water. He is sitting at the edge of the pool. What then happens here, misadventure 2 with William Douglas at the age of 11. One misadventure was at the age of 3 and second misadventure happens here now when he is 11, sitting at the edge of the pool, YMCA pool, which was safer. No one was there at that time. All around it was quiet and water was still. And he could see the tiled bottom clearly, as clean as a bathtub. He was observing everything and he was timid to get into the pool alone because of that misadventure and because of that fear of water. He was timid to enter the pool alone. Just then, here starts misadventure 2 with the writer. Just then, a big aggressive boy of 18 years comes and tosses him into deep water, deeper end per, where the water was 9 feet deep. And the writer Douglas at the age of 11 lands in water in sitting position. छपाक से उसको नीचे गिराता है. He swallowed lots of water and starts going bottom. He was frightened but not out of his wits. वो डर गया, दोबारा डर गया, लेकिन उसका दिमाग काम कर रहा था कि इस एग्रेसिव बॉय ने तो मुझे डक कर दिया. What he should do now? He made a plan at the age of 11 when he is ducked by a big bruiser. He made a plan while going bottom. क्या प्लान बनाया उसने? When his feet hit bottom, he will make a big jump with all his strength and he will come to the surface and will lie flat there and start paddle to the edge of the pool. ये उसने प्लान कर लिया कि अब मैं क्या करने वाला हूँ. जैसे ही मेरे पैर तली पे लगेंगे मैं एक जोर से अप थ्रस्ट करूँगा और ऊपर पहुँचूँगा और तैर कर. But it was not so easy. It was difficult. 9 feet. These proves to be 90 feet for writer. His lungs started bursting. Still he summoned all his strength. He imagined to bob to the surface like a cork, but it does not happen. He comes upwards very slowly. He opens eyes, sees nothing but water everywhere. No one else was there. He does not know how to swim. He is in 9 feet deep water. See the title, Deep Water. We are studying today. Summary. He tried to grab a rope, but no rope was there. He was suffocating. He tries to yell. He tries to cry. but he could not do so, क्योंकि उसका गला भी बैठ गया था. His legs paralyzed. उसकी टांगें काम करनी बंद हो गई, सख्त हो गई, rigid हो गई. A force was pulling him under the water. He screamed, but only water could hurt him, no one else. वो चिल्लाया. And once again, he starts going to bottom. This is second time now, see. He loses his breath. Legs are itching. His head is throbbing. He is getting dizzy. He still remembers the strategy, that when he touches the bottom with all his strength, he will push himself upwards. But sheer stark terror seizes him. लेकिन फिर से डर उस पर पूरी तरह हावी हो जाता है. Terror which know no understanding, which know no control, and no one could understand who has not experienced it. इसको कोई और बखान भी नहीं कर सकता, राइटर ही समझ सकता है इसको. जिसने उस डर को भोगा हो, डर को जिया हो, जिसने उस डर को जिया हो, वही राइटर की हालत को जान सकता है. राइटर ये कहना चाहता है. He was shrieking underwater now. Legs paralyzed, rigid, nothing to do. Underwater, stiff with fear, screams frozen, no voice he could make. Only water. And he could not believe he is living. He could believe just by beating off his heart and pounding in his head. He could say that he is alive. All body is paralyzed. His feet are once again at tiles now. He jumped with what he had, all his strength. He used all his energy. But no difference does it make. No rope was there to help him. No ladder was there. And no water wings he was having. Nothing was there, but what was there? Only water. His arms, legs were not moving in terror. डर बैठ गया उसके अंदर. He calls for help. He calls for his mother. But no one comes there. Nothing happens. Now he tries third time. He tries to suck air. But what he gets water. Now what he observes, that light was going out now. He ceased all his efforts. He felt relaxed. His legs felt lifeless. Blackness is in brain he felt. He was feeling no fear now. All free, without fear. Terror is wiped out now. अब डर नहीं है. Now no more panic was there. Because death is beautiful. Fear is in terror of death. Writer wants to say this. There is no fear in death. Fear is in terror of death. Beautiful. देखिए आप, his message. It was quiet and peace now there. And it was nothing to be afraid of. He was feeling nice. He was feeling drowsy. Sleep. He wanted to sleep. No need to jump now. No energy required. He was too tired to jump now. His tender arms like that of mother. ऐसे पानी पर गिर गया वो. He was floating now. He is 11. You remember this? He must go to sleep now. वो सोच रहा है. Death is beautiful. There is no fear in death. Fear is in terror of death. Curtain of life fell. उसने सोचा कि मैं तो गया. And what happens? Next morning, writer finds himself lying on his stomach near the edge of the pool. And the same boy, same chap who ducked him, he clarifies his stand by saying that he was just fooling. मैं तो मजाक कर रहा था. But due to his fooling, the writer was in a big problem, big trouble. Writer is okay now. Writer Douglas walks home. He feels weak and trembling, legs are trembling. Fear is in his heart now, his legs are wobbling. And a haunting fear of water is in heart now. He decides never to go to pool now. So once again, two misadventures. अगर आपसे एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है which are the two misadvantages Douglas had gone through in the lesson, so it is at the age of 3 or 4, and this misadventure number 2 at the age of 11. He decided never to go to pool. He decided to avoid the water now. And the years rolled by. कई साल बीत जाते हैं. Now he is young. And water of cascades attracts him. He wants to go. He wants to take bath. He wants to go to the lake. He wants to dive off the ocean. He wants to go to Wentworth. But whenever he tries to do so, terror comes back to possess him completely. His legs once again start paralyzed. Icy terror grabs him firmly whenever he tries to go near the water. And what he misses due to this fear of water, he misses diving off in the lake. He misses take bath in cascades. He misses canoeing. He misses fishing, boating, swimming. He is deprived of all the joys of life. And every day he misses all these. He thinks of overcoming this fear, but the fear has held him firmly. Finally what he decides. Now see, up to now we have discussed, है ना, कि उसको वो हुआ कैसे और क्या वो एंजॉय नहीं कर पाया और उसको कैसा लगा. और now how he overcame his fear of water. What he decides? He decides to have an instructor. He goes to YMCA pool again. 5 days a week he attends his training. Every day 1 hour daily without a miss. An instructor teaches him how to go back, how to go forth with pulley and drop. Because he had a fear of water, तो सीधा उसको हम नहीं डाल सकते. तो with a pulley and drop, he starts teaching him how to swim. So what happens gradually after 3 months? This old terror began to slack. अब वो कम हो रहा है. He teaches him to put face under water and exhale, and also raise nose and inhale. ये सब उसको सिखाता है. Kicking with legs he teaches him. He teaches him everything. Gradually he perfects himself in swimming, and thus job of instructor was over now. Now he is a swimmer, and he decides to go alone in swimming. Instructor is gone now, और वो कहता है कि अब मैं अकेला जो हूँ तैरूँगा. But when he decides to go alone, terror once again returned. But here he does not fear this time. He dares and says, Mr. Terror, trying to scare me? मैं देखता हूँ तुझे, आजा. He goes to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. He dives off. Only once terror returns, and he says to him, well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me? On this saying, listening to this, terror flees and he swims across. He is trained now. He says its deep meaning of this terror. And he says, writer, he only those who have gone through this fear and conquer it and have overcome it, only they can appreciate me. No one else. और वो क्या कहता है वो? In death there is peace. Terror is only in fear of death. As said by President Roosevelt also, all we have to fear is fear itself. As he felt the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce, the will to live grew in intensity. उसके अंदर जीने की और उम्मीद जगी कि इस डर के कारण तो मैं लाइफ को एंजॉय ही नहीं कर पा रहा। Thus, finally, Douglas brushes aside all his fears and enjoyed all life joys. So it's a great lesson, children, with this great story in an autobiographical note in which writer himself has elaborated to us how he overcame the fear of water. Hope कि आपको ये पसंद ज़रूर आया होगा। अगर आपको पसंद आया है तो डोंट फॉरगेट टू प्रेस दैट लाइक बटन बिकॉज इट कीप्स मी डूइंग मोर फॉर यू, इट मोटिवेट्स मी टू डू मोर फॉर यू चिल्ड्रन। कीप कमेंटिंग और दोस्तों में शेयर करना ही मत भूलिए। और मैं कहूँगा कि अब तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो सब्सक्राइब भी ज़रूर कर लें। हम मिलते हैं आपसे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। मैं लेकर आने वाला हूँ लाइन टू लाइन फुल एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ दिस लेसन ऑन योर डिमांड। हम मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। यू क्लिक दिस बटन, इट विल टेक यू टू फर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ लाइन टू लाइन फुल एक्सप्लेनेशन। सी यू, बाय बाय।